Back when I arrived at WFUV in January of 1997, I didn't totally realize the tradition and heritage that was one-on-one. That ended about a year and a half later, after a John Cirillo workshop in McGinley, at which Malcolm Moran was the guest speaker. How close did that happen again today? I had the chance to invite Malcolm to WFUV to talk with him about the future of our sports program and what we, the station and the alumni, could do to move it forward. A lot has ensued since that time. Malcolm and I have become good friends and have talked many times about the past, present, and future of WFUV sports. I've learned about the past history and tradition, including why and how it started. Malcolm has been a guest many times on the show, and the students always enjoy their time on the air with, as we like to call him, our founding father. He has a few good retorts every time we do that, and I'm sure we'll get one tonight at least. Okay. Without him, none of us would be here today. So on behalf of all of you who have been part of the show, both on and off the air, I would like to present a plaque to Malcolm from the current staff with our thanks for starting a tradition that has lasted 40 years and looks like it will continue for a long time to come. Malcolm?
Thank you very much, Bob. I have to say I'm trying my best to conceal my bitterness because I look out at this crowd and I see all these people that have gone on to great success in the broadcasting industry, and I keep thinking if Bob was there when I was in school, I might have made something of myself. Like I wouldn't have become an ink-stained wretch. If I could take one quick poll, and I think I know the answer, but what percentage of you, when you were considering where you wanted to go to school and you had options, figured at least 50% of your decision having to do with the fact that you wanted to work at WFUV? And I'm among you. In my senior year of high school, the Rams were 26-3. The coach was some guy that went on to TV work. His name escapes me, Digger, something like that. And I'm in my bedroom listening to Vince Hartnett and Dan Riley every game, was turned away from the Notre Dame game, didn't try to get into the Marquette game, but just the idea at the age of 17 that there's this place that you can do this stuff it just opened up these remarkable doors. And I can't tell you how many times in the last 40 years, and please don't do the math, that somebody would come up to me in a press box or in a ballpark or in a gym that I had never met and say, I know you worked for FUV. And I would say, you have a really good memory. Two names that are really important to remember who deserve as much or more credit than I do for coming up with an idea. My immediate predecessor, Tom Sabella, who was the sports director before I was, who really instilled in us the notion that the sports department was capable of doing more things than just the game broadcasts. I mean, he was the one that planted the idea of pregame shows, postgame shows, going to Giants training camp, going to Jets training camp, and finally coming up with the possibility that on Sunday nights we would have an outlet for people to be able to engage in conversation. For whatever reason, whatever commercial forces, there was a void in New York City in the fall of '74. There had been some excellent talk shows, starting with Bill Mazer 50 years ago. And Marv Albert had one, John Sterling had one, Marty Glickman had a wonderful one late at night, like 11 o'clock at night on WNEW AM for about an hour. And those were the programs that planted the idea of us doing something. And the thing that I'm proudest of, and I can brag about it because I had very little to do with it, because it's the work that's been done over the last 40 years, is that at a time when sports talk radio in a lot of markets has not exactly held up a high standard, this show has continued to inform, to engage, to treat callers and listeners with respect, to have thoughtful conversations about things that matter to us. And it's overwhelming to think of the number of students and former students who have had that opportunity on a 50,000-watt radio station in the greatest market in the stratosphere, and to see all that happen. So thanks very much, and thanks for this. And we ought to do this more often.